This is the Hero Splendor, but you don't need me to tell you that. Ever since its launch in 1994, this is the template for all commuter motorcycles in India. Every motorcycle has attempted to dethrone it. In fact, we've drawn up a big list for it, which I'll read it out to you. Bajaj Caliber 110, Bajaj Caliber 115, Bajaj Boxer, Bajaj Aspire, Bajaj BYK, Yamaha Libero G5, Yamaha Alba and Yamaha Saluto RX. Yes, that is 45 motorcycles. In 25 years, all of them have tried to dethrone the Splendor and to varying degrees have failed. Is a fifth gear, a gimmick and some few cosmetic changes going to be enough to do the job? Can the Bajaj Platina 110 H gear finally instill some fear in the immortal workhorse that we know as the Splendor? So what exactly is H gear? Well, H gear is just another word for fifth gear, but Bajaj doesn't want it to call that. Why? More on that later. However, it is the only sub 110cc commuter motorcycle in India to get a fifth gear. Bajaj is focusing on this bike's highway qualities. So does the H gear actually aid in this department? Normally, where most 110cc motorcycles would struggle to go beyond 75 kmph, the Platina 110 H gear managed to pull close to the 90 kmph mark. However, rarely would one go beyond 75 on such motorcycles. 65 to 70 kmph, that is the sweet spot. And that is where the H gear is helpful, because the revs drop down to make for a stress-free riding experience. Engine refinement is quite impressive. Beyond 75 kmph, you do feel a tingling sensation at the handlebar and tank, but at speeds below that mark, it is virtually vibe-free. So the main reason Bajaj gave the Platina 110 the H gear is to return a better fuel efficiency figure out on the highway. And in that department, the Platina 110 gets an ARAI claimed figure of 84 kmpl, which is very impressive considering that our best fuel efficiency tested bike is the TVS Radeon, which received a 69 kmpl in our testing. So, can the Platina 110 better the Radeon? Well, let me test it out. But Hey, hi PD, what's up?
Hey, and Gyan, I didn't realize that with your rate, you're never going to get the efficiency to match the Radeon. And honestly, Ben has already tested the Platina.
Oh, what's the fuel efficiency then?
He's got 78 kilometers per liter.
Oh, wow. So the Platina performed brilliantly on the highway, but this is a city slicker. So just how good is it in the city? So after spending nearly 2 hours in the saddle of the Platina, there's just one word for it: relaxed. And that feeling arises right from the moment you sit on the bike till you start it, and when you finally start riding it. Everything about the Platina is relaxed. Ekdam makhan maar ke. When going over bumpy roads, the Platina remains super calm and composed. However, when riding solo, झटका नहीं लगेगा? Well, that's not right. थोड़ा लग सकता है. However, the ride is enhanced once there is a pillion on board, and even under heavy load, the suspension beautifully soaks in undulations. The Platina also has the longest seat in its class, which means that even two healthy bodies can sit comfortably for short city rides. The grab handle is slim and well positioned for pillion riders of all sizes. The 110cc engine does feel sprightly, and it is nearly as quick off the line as the only other commuter bike that we've tested so far, the TVS Radeon. But where the Platina has the edge is in roll-on acceleration. Roll on the throttle in third gear, and the Platina is fairly quick, which is great for swift overtaking moves in the city. Then there is the case of the H gear. Well, doing 45 kmph in fourth gear, the bike is capable of doing that. But when you do the same speeds in H gear, the engine feels even more relaxed and is calm doing speeds up to 60 kmph as well. But you need to remember that the H gear is particularly tall and hence roll-ons are fairly time consuming, and hence Bajaj is calling it the H gear and not the fifth gear. Bajaj uprated the front disc on the Platina 110 from a 220mm rotor to a 240 one. While we don't exactly know how much of a difference it is between the two, what we can tell you is that it stops fairly quickly. Since this is a commuter, the bite is not ferocious, but overall braking progression is commendable. Remember that gimmick I was telling you about? Well, Bajaj has equipped the Platina H gear with a gear shift guide, which is basically you get a gear position indicator right here, and what it also gets is when you start riding, it tells you the optimal speed to shift up, and in case if you've gone a gear too high, to shift down as well. Well, this is more of a gimmick because it takes speed into account rather than load. And before I forget, the H gear. Well, it just looks like the same old Platina, but when you go closer, you'll observe that it gets new decals, there is a new 3D logo, and this long seat, well, now gets a quilted seat cover. I wonder which other bike gets that. The Platina 110 H gear is without doubt one of the most spacious and comfortable commuters out there. It is also quite feature rich and is at ease when ridden on the highway. But most importantly, it is the most fuel efficient motorcycle that we've tested so far. So is being among the best motorcycles in the class enough to dethrone the Splendor? Many have tried it in the past and many of them have been the better motorcycle too. But the Splendor has garnered enough trust and faith over decades, and that seems impossible to shake off in an instant at least. So what do you think? Does the Platina make enough case for it to be considered amongst the best, or do you still think that the Splendor rules the roost? Type your answers in the comment section below, and as always, like this video, share this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Zigwheels for more motoring action.